Hey there, how's it going? Ryan coming at you with a quick tip, Facebook Live, coming live from my dining room. So there you can see all the wonderful pictures, toys hanging on shelves, and you'll be able to see the toys in the background. But hey, that's part of life. I'm real here. But anyway, I wanted to go over kind of tips if you think you're looking at you and buying a used tri bike. A lot of people, send me bikes that they found on the internet or something like that and say, "Is this a good fit for me? What do you think about this bike? Does it look like it's in good shape?" So forth and so on. So I kind of created a few graphics and a few other things to post on my Facebook page, kind of my ideas. So I want to do a Facebook Live real quick. Well, I had a little bit of a time, so we'll just kind of hit the graphic that I made. So basically, if you're looking for a used tri bike, if you've got the road bike, you've been in it for a while, and you're like, hey, I want to upgrade to a tri bike, but I don't want to go out and spend inordinate amounts of money. Excuse me. These are kind of my tips that you want to think about while you're out there looking. The retool fit and the bike fitter kind of go together. So retool, you can actually go and they have bikes that are set up to where you can adjust everything basically, and then they could take that information and then compare it to other manufacturers of bike frames and tell you if QR, Cervelo, whoever, Trek, Giant, Cannondale, Canyon, Ventum, whoever, because not all tri-bike frames are built the same. So a 52 in one won't be a 52 in another, a 56 in one, maybe a large in another. So a retool fit is expensive, but it can very quickly narrow down what frames would potentially best suit your body type. So if you got long legs and short arms, or long arms and long legs, or long torso and short arms, whatever you got, they can help you kind of narrow down your search and what you want to look for, and then you could go hit the internet and try to find used ones. Or you could talk to a fitter. So basically, if you go and just go to your local bike shop and talk to a fitter, maybe if you had a fit done before, you can kind of pick their brain a little bit, what they think, what models would fit you the best. Especially in 1 year of a model may not be the same as the next year, so you don't want to get a 2005 Trek and think it's going to fit you like a 2015. So just be aware of that. Go to the manufacturer. I know Quintana Roo, they are based out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. So I've been to their headquarters and their manufacturing facility where they put all the bikes together, paint them and everything. So you actually go there, do a tour. They've got bikes that you can kind of test out and ride around if you wanted to. So if you're there for Ironman Chattanooga 70.3 or the full, you could actually go to where they make the bikes. I think Trek's out of Wisconsin, so I know Canyon's overseas, but they have shops here that you can actually go to and visit in person, ride the bikes around. So that's kind of nice. You can go to the actual manufacturer and tour the facilities and see how it's made and get a good feel for it. Hit the tri-bike or hit the expos and look at tri-bikes. A lot of manufacturers will bring their bikes to triathlon expos, especially the big ones. USAT, the Ironman races, they're local. They'll bring out bikes and set up their own tent. They have set them on trainers so you can ride around and play on Zwift and do all kinds of things. Hit your local bike shop for test rides. So a lot of them are very specific on the brands they carry. So if yours does specialize, then try that one. If you've got a Trek store in the area, go to that one. It may save you a little bit of hassle in getting a bike and not really knowing what it's going to feel like. If your local bike shop has demos that you can go out test ride, they might even have demos that you could take with you and maybe ride for a week just to see how it feels over time. So, but also keep your setup in mind. So if you want hydration on the rear, some bikes you can't really do that well. Some bikes, Specialized Shiv has the built-in hydration. The older ones do. The newer ones have the little thing on the back. If you want a bike box that goes on the frame to carry all your spare stuff in, or if you're going to carry it all with you, just keep all that stuff in mind. The aero bars, how you're going to set on those, the seats that come with them, like the short cutoff seats with the dual nose that are more comfortable, don't hang on the bike rack as well by the back. You have to hang it by the front. So if that's a consideration for you. So just take into consideration how you want your bike set up, especially if you're going to work with trainers. Please excuse the mowers outside. If it's a through axle, does your trainer work with that? Do you need an adapter for that? We ran that with a few athletes. He had a kind of a cross road bike, and he went and I gave him, set him up with my old Magnus Cyclops, and he needed a through axle adapter, so he had to wait a couple weeks to get the right adapter for it. So make sure you're planning ahead. If you already have a bike trainer, will that trainer work for the model and the type of bike you're looking for. So keep that in mind. So once you get all that kind of narrowed down, then that's the time to start looking. Facebook, eBay, those are the big ones. Usually with Facebook, you can go through PayPal, so you have a little bit of security. eBay, you've got security, so if there's a problem, you could go through eBay and they'll resolve it for you, and you don't have to necessarily deal direct with the person. You have an issue, you get your money back, that type of thing. Facebook, sometimes it's a little bit in person, but you could find local people that you know and trust, other people can vouch for. Always look up the Facebook page, make sure it's not somebody that's kind of random, that's like, that person doesn't look like they're in triathlons, but they're selling a triathlon bike, so it's either not legitimate or it's stolen or something else, so be leery. Just use a little bit of common sense if you're going to go online and look at buying a used bike online. But I know I talked fast and hit the high points here, but this is kind of my tip list. If you're going to look for a used trad bike, think about all these things before you go out there and hit the road. Don't just start looking through the Facebook ads and then saying, oh, that's a nice, that bike's $400, it looks pretty neat, looks pretty good, and I want to go out and ride it. At least do a test ride. But if you do a little bit of homework beforehand, you can find out the actual frame types that fit you the best and narrow down your search a lot easier, so it makes it 3 types of bikes you're looking for instead of, holy cow, there's so many bikes out there, I'm overwhelmed. This one's $300 and it looks okay, but I don't know, it's in Pennsylvania and they have to ship it to me. But that's a great deal. But if it doesn't fit you, then it's not going to work. So just make sure you keep that in mind. Got any questions, post them in the comments, and I'll hit you with anything that I can help you with. Talk to you later.